Yo, yo, we are back. CRB Live, episode 12. It is your boy Prehistoric, Papa Pre, coming to you live from the 613. As always, very happy that you are taking some time out of your Monday evening to join us. Of course, Frenchie will be joining me in a second. We got a very special episode tonight. We've got the Beast Mode champion, Scrilla coming on. Very excited to have him on the show and hear what's going on with Beast Mode and with the title picture over there, and just connect with that league, because that's one of the biggest leagues in the country, of course. And of course, we have Dirty B and King D, who are involved in a big 2-on-2 matchup against Lescat and Caesar, coming up on March 13th in Ottawa, No Love 3. So we got a lot to get through. But most importantly, I think it is what we call, I don't know, Bender Day, if you will. Perhaps that's his birthday, but this, of course, is the day that he passed a few years ago, and we always reflect on that. And we're definitely going to talk about him tonight. I've seen all kinds of amazing words on Facebook and battles being shared and videos and all that good stuff. So we're going to keep that good vibe in the air and keep that positive energy and reflect on our friend and our well, basically the best battler to ever come out of this city easily, and perhaps the country. So without further ado, I want to bring on my co-host with the most, Mr. Frenchie Fresh. Come on down. How you doing, brother? And I want to say I can't hear you, and it's unfortunate. We have these technical difficulties with this streaming program. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully we can get Frenchie back in here. We could literally hear him right before. But this is what happens with live TV or live Facebook streaming. So the show must go on. Jugga, are we able to maybe get Frenchie back, or are you wanting to come on before we bring our guest on? I know maybe tonight's not the best night for that, but Frenchie, can you hear me? No, there you go.
No. Hello?
What's up, buddy? No good, eh?
All right, then.
Well,
I shall.
That's success.
Unfortunately, we are having some technical difficulties. Frenchie can't hear me. If you're a regular listener or watcher of the show, you know that we often have technical difficulties, and we just keep soldiering forward and figuring it out. So hopefully Frenchie can join me in a quick minute there. But honestly, man, without further ado, I want to bring on our first guest. I'm a fan of his work. He's got 15 battles, all of them on Beast Mode. He's battled some big names such as Joey Gambello, Laughingstock, Lev Corso. He is the current Beast Mode champion. Frenchie, can you hear me? Last check.
I can hear you.
There we go. So Frenchie's here, and we're going to bring out the Beast Mode champion, Scrilla. Come on down, man. There he is with the belt. How you doing, brother?
Chill.
Just you, man.
Chill.
Champ is here. We can hear you, man. You can hear us?
Yes, sir.
Rock, man. Good. All right, things are rolling. Well, I think it's safe to say it's been a while since we've seen you in the ring. I believe your last battle was against Joey. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and that was over a year ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Now, my first question, so that was a crazy battle, of course. It was a battle in the room. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of like a special event that goes down in Beast Mode from time to time. It's like small room style, crazy editing, really cool vibes. Kind of remind me of, Undertaker, AJ Styles type shit. Now, what was your first impression when that battle was like locked in and you knew it was going to happen in the room?
So, originally it wasn't supposed to go down in the room, which made it crazy. So it changed the whole approach, basically trying to not go for maybe necessary big room shakers kind of thing, but because it's more of a personal environment. But yeah, that battle got pushed back twice. Eventually, I think there was a huge snowstorm that day. We had a bunch of guys come from out of town, from Chicago and shit, and it was just a mess. It was one of those days, like, battle rap when just not some events, they're just doomed, right?
Totally.
So that was one of these. They did a couple battles from the guys that were from the States that were there at Smitty's house on that weekend. And then the rest of them got pushed the next weekend. So you're supposed to battle then, and it got pushed back a week again after that. So when me and Joey happened, we were the only battle that day.
Okay.
So it was even less people there. So it was a really different environment. Like, it was a very small crowd, but it was also personal, and like we were all chilling. And so it had a good, like, fun vibe to it. And we both kind of, like, I knew he knows I'm always kind of jokey or sarcastic and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I knew he was going to at least do a little bit of that. And he kind of went hard into it, like more than he ever really has, which was cool to see Joey kind of change it up. And because he's funny when he wants to be, but he takes a more serious kind of approach. Right. But it ended up kind of both brought us towards the middle. I tried to go a little bit more his style, and he kind of came more towards my style kind of thing. Right.
That often happens, I think, with these style clashes where both battlers kind of try to take on the opponent's persona or whatever, their skill set, and show that they can do it too. And you're absolutely right. I watched that battle, I think yesterday, preparing for this interview. I watched it when it first dropped too. Really, really cool battle. What's funny is I think Pepe was in both of your corners.
Yeah, that was wild. So like, any of my battles, like, Pepe stands out more than I do. You hear him dying in my corner, which is like the best thing to have, obviously, man. Pep's the best. And when he's in the room
100%.
laughing, he's there, right? So, but yeah, you can see literally it pans over, he's fucking shaking Joey. I'll get a little rattle. I'm like, okay, don't fucking react too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, he was a good sport. He was even for both of us. And like I said, everybody was going nuts. There was only like a dozen of us or so. So it was just like, I was reacting to his shit. He was giving me a little bit of love reluctantly, but
yeah, no doubt. Now, I guess, I mean, we kind of answered this question already. Like, I'm going to ask you, like, why wasn't that battle for the belt? But I mean, it kind of makes sense. I guess the vibe there, like, you guys are cool. Like, it seemed more like an exhibition, or was there ever any talk of it being for the belt?
We kind of like joked about, he wanted to do a 1-rounder, and then we kind of talked about putting the belt up, and I said, like, I was okay with it if the league wanted to. And then he was saying if it's for the belt, it's gonna be 3 rounds. But it just kind of didn't fit, and they kind of had a plan. Like, they wanted to see me and Yaz, because it was kind of building towards the Eras card, where we had, like, all the guys that came up since Smitty joined Beast Mode, and kind of the talent cultivated under that era. And like, I was kind of the generation just before that.
Okay.
So that's how the matchups were all like generation versus generation kind of style. So it kind of set up well for the narrative, but we didn't end up. That's the last event we were supposed to have, March 21st last year. That ended up getting canceled, and then haven't had one since.
Yeah, no, that actually was my next question. So you were scheduled to defend the belt against Yasmin last March, and like, you were pretty much prepared for that battle, right? Or like close to?
Yeah, I was completely done writing. Like, I hadn't really started to memorize it. I usually do it maybe like a week and a half before. So it gives me plenty of time to memorize it, but not to the point where I'm going to start hating my material. Because, just I get stale after a while, or you don't deliver it with the same kind of.
Totally. I mean, I think it's like, I always say, like, I'm so like worried about forgetting my shit that I often memorize 3 weeks out, and then I am sick of the material, but I'm like, at least I'm comfortable. But I think it depends on the person. So that's an interesting insight. Now, how is your material for her? Like, if you were to, like, say, book that battle again, would you use the same material, or would it just be scrapped and you start again?
It would be like, I probably would end up changing a lot of it. I'd say maybe like half would end up staying or something like that, because I write, like, I'm very tailored to the person. Like, I don't want to do a whole lot of generic. Like, obviously you have some punchlines they can use against anybody, but I tend to write about them or make fun of them or what they did. So it's not shit that can be
battle.
Another battle. Yeah. And the other wrinkle of it being the battling a woman, right? She's the only one that I would be battling, like, for the belt anyways. So it's not like not that I had a lot of material specific to that, but that kind of shit doesn't really transfer over.
Totally. And I think that's an interesting, like, it would be an interesting dynamic. First of all, like, Yasmin's got a sick pen. She's really well respected, like, not only in beast mode, but just, I think in like, the real battle rap heads know that that she's fucking dope. But nonetheless, I mean, that would be a very unique situation. Did you approach it differently, knowing that you were going to be like battling a woman in a very important battle, or was it just like, no, it's any other day?
It was a little different. It kind of, when you're trying to do like the disrespectful shit, like, I feel like there's some shit that maybe if she was a dude, I would have said, but I'm like, this is.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I just don't want people saying this to a woman or something like that all the time, but sometimes ideas just pop in your head.
No doubt. Now there was a little bit of feedback. It's a little fuzzy. I mean, I got the gist of it. Now I think I can hear you say something else.
Yeah, we good now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
There we go. Let's. We're gonna make it through this, right, Frenchie? We're gonna make it through this.
Oh yeah.
Man, but I mean, that's a battle that I think a lot of people would want to see. And honestly, like like we've seen some men versus women battle over the years that, some of them are dope. Some of them, I think people have seen enough of them that they're going to expect something more creative than that, stereotypical. And it's not as if like that's your style anyway. So you're going to come creatively, but I really hope we see that battle.
Yeah, it'd be more so like like when you just make fun of the way a person looks, like that kind of thing. There's something unsettling about just making fun of the way a woman looks. Like, I don't know, it's a little different than roasting a dude. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so I wasn't relying on that heavily. It was a lot more the context of her career and my perception of it versus the public and that sort of thing. So, I know I'm not gonna obviously say too much because I hope it does happen one day and we can do that. Like I said, it's an interesting challenge and. Yeah, I hope it happens one day. She just so people know, like I think she's just taking a break right now, so that's the reason the battle's not happening. So,
okay,
it's what it is. No questions asked.
Yeah. So I mean, that battle could easily happen down the road. Now, your road to the title was kind of unconventional for beast mode in the sense that like you actually went through a tournament, you won a tournament like similar to what we did in CRB. Obviously you guys I believe did it first, of course, but it was still a lot of battles in a short amount of time, was it not?
Yeah, and honestly I felt like it kind of worked to my advantage. It was like before the tournament started I was kind of thinking about quitting, like I was kind of losing motivation. I just kind of a bad string of like, I don't know, I wasn't as interested in my opponents or whatever. No disrespect to them. It's just like, it just felt like there was not a real like variety, or I was just kind of getting stale to me. But then when the opportunity came to win money and a title shot, then I was like, okay, then that's motivation. That's all I need, right? And nobody was judging battles, right? I just want a win-loss record too. Like the only reason I do this is because it's fun to make fun of people, and I like the competition element of it, right? So I was like, okay, finally. We get judge wins and you can't say I beat you if the judges, because that's the worst, right? You smoke somebody, then the next day on there, oh yeah, it was 2-1.
2-1.
Close to camera, like
2-1 either way.
It drove me nuts, right? I mean, it still happens even with battles, but yeah. And then I just kind of hit a groove. Like this was right after my son was born, so I had a lot of time where, he was napping when I'm home with him, or it's just a lot of quiet time. And so I have a lot of time to just sit in your thoughts, so I could just think of shit or memorize shit. And I would just go over it and over and over it, and it helped me memorize shit. But it also kind of backfired against Cal because it was I left myself that week to prepare, and my wife ended up having to go to the hospital. So I was like, I had to do everything for the kid and him, and I just didn't have time to prepare, and I ended up choking on my first bar, and then I got it back and still ended up winning. I had a huge second round, ended up winning the battle. And then I didn't look back after that, but it that made me be like, okay, you need to give yourself more time than that. Prepare. You can't fuck this up because I want that money and I want this title shot. Right. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's interesting how that played out now. And you didn't just beat anyone to become champion. I mean, once you won that tournament, you beat Cal Jackson, Reality, and then Revelation, all talented battlers in their own right. Big win. And then you had to go up against, I believe, the longest reigning champion, or at least one of them, Lev Corso, who had been champion for years. and then put on a fucking amazing performance. After that, or first of all, preparing for that battle, were you confident going in that you were gonna take him out, or at least had a good chance of winning, or were you just rolling the dice?
I knew I had a good chance because I'd felt like my material was the most structured that I'd ever had, but I knew it was all hinging on how my flat earth and wedding shit kind of played over with the crowd. Like, it's gonna go over really well or really bad. Because if I'm 4 bars in and it's not hitting, I'm doing this for another minute still, so I'm fucked. Okay? So it was, and I put it right in the middle for that reason. I was like, I need to swing momentum in my favor big time, or not, right? And the flat earth shit, I didn't want to, like, because he battled Thesaurus and he just rinsed him on the flat earth stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do it as good as him. So I kind of just extrapolated it to the conspiracy angle. I just went at him with all just conspiracy kind of related shit, and then eventually brought it into a few punchlines about the wedding later on, about him and Robin dating for 10 years and him putting off the battle just like their wedding and that kind of shit. And it all kind of just, I had a ton of time to prepare for that battle because that battle got pushed off for like 8 months. And I think if we would have done it in the short time frame that it was supposed to happen, it would have been very much in Lev's favor. He's an incredible writer. And I had, like I said, 8 months. So I was just like rewriting and structuring it. And I probably had like a whole nother 2 rounds of shit that I ended up throwing away, which I never have. Like I'll have a few extra lines, but once I'm done, I just kind of leave it and I'll edit it, but I don't write like that, like just extra shit. But I had to think of other angles just in case I changed my mind near the end or something. You know what I mean? Like that it wasn't going to work.
It worked out well for you. I mean, I think structure is key at the upper echelon battle rap too, and strategically placed material too, and thinking about that kind of stuff. I think a lot of battlers, I've said this on the show before, they don't necessarily think that strategically, and I think that's kudos to you for like placing your material there and taking the battle so seriously. And like before they announced the winner for that battle, be honest, like in your heart of hearts, did you know you had it, or were you like, you know, how did you feel before they announced the winner?
I felt pretty good, but I wasn't 100%. Like I was, because he fucked up. He cut his last round short, but he was cooking in that third round before he cut it short. And I thought we had split the first 2. So it was basically going to come down to if I thought the judges were thought he had enough in that third to beat me. And I didn't think he did, but I thought maybe they might give it to him. In my heart, I thought I won that battle. Just the energy like died that second he stopped, and I don't know. Yeah.
No, fair enough. Totally. Just and Ray, this is actually, I love how these beautiful segues work out. Raiden, the champion of CRB, is in the chat. He wants to see the belt. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, I personally would love to see a champ versus champion battle go down. Of course, right now is not the right time. We've established that. But perhaps down the road, maybe even this year, would you entertain the idea of coming down to CRB and going champion versus champion against Raiden Black?
Oh, definitely. We can definitely make that happen at some point. Shit works out. I got nothing love for Raiden, man. I was telling Pre before this, like my first 2 battles at least, first 2 battles I ever had, Raiden was on the same card. And I remember the second time specifically, it was the D the Suspect event. And that was a crazy 2-day event. There was like 30 battles, I think. It was just a cool event to get beast mode, get my feet wet and kind of thing. And I can't remember who Raiden was facing that weekend, but I remember like I don't know, like I didn't know the context at the time leading into it really because I was new to it. But I remember the crowds kind of being surprised at how much Raiden was cooking this guy, and then the momentum kind of really swinging in his favor. And I was like, that was the first time I was like really impressed with him. And yeah, he puts in work, man. That guy, he's always battling. I just known that whole time. I've taken like breaks here and there, and it seems like he's always battling nonstop.
Well, I'm sure he appreciates that, and it's all true what you said. But I think the story kind of tells itself. I mean, you both became champions from winning tournaments in these 2 different leagues. You know, you both fucking have continued to improve the whole time, and frankly, I think it would just be an entertaining battle, and the fans would win. So that's definitely something we're going to try to make happen at some point in time. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen, for that. Now, there's a good question from a fan or from somebody, I'm not sure who. When you face someone you might find boring or uninspiring, where or how do you dig for lines? Like, how do you like if you're not inspired, basically, how do you find the will to come up with some creative shit?
That's a good question. Excuse me. I just try and I'll think of something about them or the way they look or something, an idiosyncrasy, something that they do, and then just try and find a phrase in there and start rhyming it or try and think of rhymes just to get the ball rolling, or watch their old battles and look for something stupid that they said and kind of find a way to blow that out of proportion or some tendency that they have in their battle and just kind of pick on that. And that's the thing. Like when you write tailored to your opponent, like all you can go on is what they give you. Like if you come up with generic punchlines, you can do that doing anything, like sitting around or whatever, right? But if you just watch them.
What was the penguin line you said to Joey or something about penguins? There was something very, very interesting on that.
Oh, because he said, what did he say? If you're, he said something. He said, when my pen go in, but it was like a penguin punch. Fuck, I can't remember what he said.
It's dirty, but I like that you flipped it too, because that's also fucking hilarious.
What the fuck did I say?
Well,
he said, only time your pen go in, it's a mascot. I said, read that, and kept that in. To me, it's black and white. That shit's never fly. Like a pen go in. That's right.
That's hilarious. I love the shit like that too. I love that, like right on the jaw. Super funny.
Shout out Pepe in the chat. That's my boy.
Yeah, Pepe versus Corms the Cancerous goes down March 13th. No Love 3 main event shit. That's less than 2 weeks away. It's going to be crazy. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I noticed Frenchie's wearing the Sorry Player shirt. Obviously, we know that this is the anniversary. So I want to get your take, because we were talking a little bit off the air. Like, what was your first impression of Bender as it pertains to battle rap? When did you encounter him for the first time, and how did that influence you?
My first time watching him, I think the first battle would have been maybe Skelly, probably Bender and Skelly, and then Bender and Miracle, somewhere around there, like one of those early ones where like that Miracle battle was crazy. He was just snapping nonstop. I remember the first time I seen him live was at World Dom 2. That was the first live event I went to, and it was him and Low, and it had that such a cool energy of them being boys, and then just like the whole kind of friendship element to it. It was so cool. And obviously, like I like that battles with context where it's not like two random dudes going at it, right? So the whole storyline element about it was really cool.
I think that, first of all, that was an amazing battle. I think that might have been World Dom 3.
Sure, World Dom 3. That was my first about World Dom 3. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. I knew what you meant. Yeah. And yeah, totally crazy battle. And I mean, and those guys are obviously like great friends. And I want to get back to the Bender shit in a second, because there's so much to talk about, but it's a natural segue. Pepe's in the comments right now. He's obviously a great friend of yours. Would you ever step into the ring with Pepe?
I would. He won't step in the ring with me. Every time I ask him to do a 2-on-2, he won't do one. So,
okay. Well, we'll get to more of that later.
Though, me and Pep got such different styles. But me and Pep got like different styles. It would be a cool mashup too. I love the duo with my boy Jo too. Like he's the reason I found out about Beast Mode and got into it, right? And same thing, two very different styles. But Jo can be really funny when he wants to, and we could kind of work together on some shit.
Yeah, Jo's fire.
Jo's super fire. He put on a crazy show here. A great battle with Teddy KGB, CP4. Yeah, I mean, all these dudes are in my good books, of course. Now, just getting back to the Bender, just Bender in general. What's your favorite Bender battle, if you had to pick one?
Probably Bender Thesaurus. And it's crazy to think like how that battle could have went down if they went after Mr. Fab and Arsenal, and like it would not have been the same. But the visual of it, like the small, just like the small crowd, and like seeing every fan's reaction in the background, and like even though Bender like didn't get all of his stuff out, like just both their material was just ridiculous. And you'll get that little bit at the end of Bender spitting his shit. It's cool because it's like anybody that's been to an event, you know that where you hear the people, you know, spitting the shit they forgot or going over your bars.
Totally.
Right? So it's like it's kind of that it captured that moment of Bender.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I love that battle. Now, one other question, excuse me. If like we saw a lot of great Bender battles, but there's plenty of battles that we didn't see that could have happened, obviously because he was taken too soon from us. Now, if you could pick one battle, a Bender versus that never happened, excluding yourself, because obviously it would be fucking an honor to step in there with him. Who would it be? Bender versus who would be like the matchup in your mind?
That's tough, man. There'd be a few good ones. Nestle's obviously one that comes to mind because that was supposed to happen, but like you're not thinking that he didn't battle Shuffle T, not in any 2-on-2s, I don't think, right? So
No.
just Shuffle T 1-on-1, just the multi-syllabics and that would fucking collapse the internet.
Totally, man. I love that. Yeah, facts. And the Nestle ones too. In I think it was Bender versus Big T. His closing line was something about from now on I ain't battling nothing but legends, but for Nestle I'll make the exception. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but it sounded cooler. But like that battle was supposed to happen. That battle would have been amazing.
Yeah, it's a shame, man.
Yeah,
lucky to have what we did get from him.
Totally, and there's a catalog to choose from that will, you know, this is 10 years later from some of these battles, and the quotes are still better than all these kids today. So there's still some catching up to be done, and that's facts, man. So we're gonna just transition here into the. I don't know if you've seen the program before. I think you've seen it. We do a segment called Rapid Fire. So basically I've got a bunch of names. I just wanted you to say the first thing that comes to mind. And then there's just some random questions in there. It's all about the quick things, so to speak. So, and it's obviously a beast mode theme tonight. So, and here we go. Rapid fire, episode 12, fucking beast mode champs, Scrilla Cam. Here we go. Franchise.
Performance.
Laughing stock.
Wit. I don't know. Man, Laughing stock. He's a funny dude. He got right to my core. I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to be quick answers, but
it's okay.
Said,
no. Go. You're good.
He said, "I only have the belt to convince people I rap," or something like that. And that fucking sent me.
Oh, he's hilarious. He's fucking hilarious. Witty Smitty.
Good dude.
Revelation.
Rev. He's a smart dude, man.
Lev Corso.
Best champ in beast mode history.
Okay. Luke Nukem.
So far. My favorite battler in beast mode history.
Okay. That's a lot of praise there. AJ.
AJ is a silly bitch. I love that dude, man. This fucking guy, I'm driving through Wendy's. I'm driving him home after an event, and he's like, stop, we'll get a couple burgers, right? And he's like telling the girl, he's like, okay, I want 4 pickles, but I want 2 in between burgers and 2 on top of the, and like just being so specific, like, you fucking asshole.
That's amazing. J.O.
Joe's a good friend and just an incredible writer and on beat too. I mean, check out Joe's music. Anybody in the chat that hasn't, he's been dropping some tracks lately. He does live stream.
KP lately, yeah. That's fire.
Yeah, very fire.
Yeah, he's been doing some work on bars of that too. They've been doing some battles here and there. He's pretty good on beat too.
Yeah,
for sure, man. He's a real one. Definitely look forward to getting him back on CRB.
Yeah, I miss that. Right. You know.
Yeah, I think, you know, real life gets in the way sometime, or, you know, gets in the way, whatever. It's busy, and I'm sure he'll be back, and we wish him well. I'll go with Dunch next.
Dunch, ooh. Man. He's genius, man. He's a fucking genius. He's one of the best strategist too in rap. He just needs to strategize on showing up more, a little bit more, but whatever.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, he's awesome. Pepe.
That's my big bro, man. That's my dude. I love Pepe.
Me too. Sometimes I roast him on the show, but I just feel the love tonight. So shout out to Pepe, man.
Yo,
He's just
shout
a
out
great
Pepe.
human being.
Yeah, shout out
I
Pepe.
voted against him one time. He doesn't
brutally
let me forget it.
Brutally honest, man. Pep's the guy you want on your team. He's that guy. Like most guys, you send bars like they read them as whatever. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's fire." No matter what, it could be the most trash shit ever. They're not gonna tell you. No, don't fucking say that. He's all the time.
No, facts. Like I've read.
He hates my shit.
He's good shit, man. Very good shit.
I still use it, and then when it makes the crowd go off, I just throw it in his face. Like I told you.
You can use that when you battle him. Wheezy.
Oh, Weezy's the dude, man. Just loyal dude.
Absolutely fucking legend in this shit. Apex.
Loud.
Loud.
He's a loud dude, man. You hear him in the rooms, like he's fucking loud. He barks on fools.
That battle with him and A-Ward in the room as well is fucking incredible.
Dude, I was standing behind Apex. I was losing my mind. A-Ward did incredible. Pulling the flips out of nowhere as always. But man, Apex did really well too. Apex stood right with him. That was a great battle.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're transitioning kind of into a different category. I gathered that you're a hockey fan, judging from some of your bars. So some of these, I got 3 for you. Fedorov or Bure?
I would say Bure. I was a big Avalanche fan when I was a kid, so I can't say Fedorov.
Okay, yeah. I got you.
I was a Patrick Roy fan, so
well, you just answered this question because it's Zakic, you guys are. So,
yeah, Zakic for sure.
Hasek or Waugh?
Patrick Waugh, man. He's the reason I'm a Habs fan and why I liked the Habs back in the day. So,
how many more battles do you have in you?
Probably not a lot. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I almost quit once. It's when it stops making sense to me. Like I don't have as much interest in watching battles as much as I used to nowadays. It's like not having time, but also just I don't know. The interest is there. Like battles changed a lot, and they're getting longer a lot of the time too. Right? You just want a quick, short battle once in a while, but
totally. I mean, unless it's 2 fucking superstars or whatever. But even then, it's like, who's got time?
But I'm gonna put it all into any time the belt's on the line. Like there's no question about that. And I'm gonna go as long as I can. I want to defend this belt. I want to, beat Lev if I can. If I can be the best champ ever, then I will. He set the bar high. He said he was champ for 4 years or something like that. So
well, you could just hold it for 4 years and not defend it and beat that title actually.
Yeah,
so
that COVID's making it easy.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you'll be back in there soon. I'm hearing rumors, so I look forward to the announcement whenever it is. What is your biggest fear before a battle?
After I fucked up in that Cal Jackson, I'm always worried I'm going to choke now. It never worry about it until you do it, and then it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Am I going to choke now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best part of battling for you?
The props afterwards.
The what?
The props afterwards. Like when you finish, everybody's like, you fucking killed it. Yeah, so it's like like the first time I battled, I didn't know how I was gonna feel. As soon as like that happened, everybody was like, "Yo, you fucking did awesome! You killed them, bodied them." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this again." Like, just because you feel like, "Fuck yeah, I did something here." You know what I mean?
Well, you put a lot of work in, right? And you're getting, when you put that's facts. Who's the worst dressed battler in beast mode?
Oh, there's no shortage of candidates there. I think. I don't want to do it because everybody picks on him, but I'm saying my boy Dysfunctional, maybe.
Okay. He's actually on the card coming up in Ottawa in less than 2 weeks. So,
yeah. This is fire, man. Everybody likes to give him a hard time, but he's a good dude, and he's just been getting better too. His battle versus Merge is the only one that we've dropped since COVID, and he fucking did awesome in that battle. So
yeah, he's battling Scott Sharp on March 13th, and it should be a goodie. We're just about done here. Who's the most likely to start freestyling in your ear after an event, at a beast mode event?
Say Riz Relit, probably.
Okay.
I think
I mean, every league's got one, right? Every league, at least one.
Yeah. Or Wendigo if he's around. He's kind of everywhere. But if Wendigo's around, he's always down to start rapping.
All right, man. You know what? Actually, that was the last question. I misread my shit. This is great, man. Really appreciate your time. I mean, I know I've been a fan for a minute, but doing you, I always go and watch more of the battles and kind of reconnect. And your shit fucking, it ages really well. It's which is something that you can tell about a battler it makes them separate from the pack when you can watch a battle 2-3 years later and it still holds weight. And I put you in that category, man. So definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man. It's good to be on and fucking talk battle rap. I feel so disconnected from this shit with all COVID going on. It's nice to get back in the mix a little bit and chop it up.
Absolutely. I mean, this is CRB Live, but there's a lot of leagues. Well, there's a handful of leagues in Canada, and we want to connect with all of them and give a platform to battlers who don't necessarily have the biggest exposure. And I think it's a good thing. And people just like to shoot the shit with us on Monday nights. So we'll definitely have you back on in the future. And let's stay in touch and let's make that champion versus champion Red and Black battle happen, because that'll be fucking crazy.
For sure, bro. We'll definitely be in touch. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Scrilla, man. All the best, brother. Take it easy.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Well, Frenchie, we've had a lot of champions on the show already.
Well, that's what winners do. They get champions on their shows.
Raiden, Real Deal, Scrilla. I guess Pathogenic's not technically the champion of Smoked Out yet, but probably
I'm the champion in my own right too. So hey,
yeah. So every day
I'm here every night.
You're goddamn right,
Monday.
Frenchie. You're goddamn right. Now, switching gears here, because I know we got to wrap soon, but we got to wrap soon. No pun intended. We got a 2-on-2 battle, and a couple of weeks ago we had a team on the show who was talking all kinds of spicy shit. Lescap and Caesar from 07 Battles are taking part in a 2-on-2 battle, the first ever real 2-on-2 in CRB history, taking on King D and Dirty B. Before we bring them on,
not only have we had champions on our shows, now we have kings.
Yeah, like what? I don't know what's next. Frankly, there's nothing on top of that. Come on down to the studio, King D, Dirty B, Falls Boys. How you guys doing? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, thank you guys, man.
Yeah, man. It's about time to get into this, because the people watching, they want to know. They saw this shit talk going down. I mean, first of all, before we get into this battle, like, this is your first 2-on-2, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is? I'm gonna ask Dirty B first. What has been different about the preparation for a 2-on-2 battle during COVID compared to all your previous battles, the singles battles?
Well, the COVID thing didn't really affect us too much. We live kind of down the street, you know what I mean? Like, we're not that far away from each other. So it only took 2 writing sessions. I went, picked up, he came here, we wrote our bars, and 2 different Saturdays, and we were set after that. It's a little different with the 2-on-2, obviously.
Yeah.
Not really. We got to coordinate with each other and figure some shit to go off of each other,
Yeah, no doubt. Now, like, yeah, I mean, a 2-on-2 is such a different thing. Like, are you Are you guys thinking that you might have an advantage here because you guys are such good friends? You go back. I mean, I know those boys are good friends too, but like you said, you live down the street from each other. Do you think that the natural chemistry of like being actually like good boys with your partner is going to be a factor in this battle?
Yeah,
King D?
man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
for
a plus,
sure.
right?
Yeah. Like that's why we don't have to practice every day together. We don't have to see each other. We write on our own, and then we meet up. We've only met up twice this whole time. We had the whole battle done, you know, like
That's what's up, man.
yeah, like eventually we can practice on our own, and then whenever we get together, it's like we can imagine as we're practicing on our own, we can imagine buddies right there, you know, like because we know each other so well, you know, like
That's what's up,
I
man.
know
No,
I know his style, he knows my style.
yeah, I mean, you both came into the league at the same time or closely,
Yeah.
very close.
Both of our
No.
first battles were on the same night. So
Yeah.
troublemaker, although it was on camera, but we both fucked it up, right? You know what I mean? So it didn't get released, you know, it got vaulted.
Mine versus Flash that same night too. Yeah, right.
No doubt, but you know what? Every battle helps shape the battle you become. Not to get too philosophical on the all, but no, just a couple more questions before we get into this. Like, I want to talk about your opponents before we wrap it, but I want to talk about Falls Boys because you guys both shout out Falls Boys in the battles, and it's become kind of like a catchphrase around CRB. And I don't. Quite Dirty B, you started. Who are the Falls Boys?
The Falls Boys, man, it's just a place where we all grew up when we were kids, you know, like there's like 10 to 12 of us, you know, they're all scattered around now, but we grew up in the country in a little hamlet. It's not even a village, man. There's 100 people in our town. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of rednecks riding around, you know, fucking skidoos and hockey, outdoor hockey, sledding, GT in the hills, you know?
I love it. Fucking right, man. Well, and then the last one before we get into the battle is like King D. A lot of people think that you are Corms the Cancerous' long lost brother. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Oh.
Distant cousin.
Maybe I don't know. I only know half of my family, so I don't know. Maybe you know.
All right. Well, Corms is of course on the card as well. He's in the main event against Pepe, and I know that is a battle that we want to see one day, assuming you know, like the stars align. Now, let's talk about these opponents. Lescap and Cesar, they were on the show a couple weeks ago. They were talking a lot of shit, and now I want to give you an opportunity to rebuttal. And now I want to hear from Dirty B first. First of all, what do you think of your opponents, and what do you think about all the shit talk that they said on CRB Live a few weeks ago?
Oh, that's the thing, man. You know, they're underestimating us, you know? They say we don't deserve them and all that, but the thing is, you know, my French is limited, but my mind is not. So we're going to come with it, man. We're going to come with it. Like I said, they're underestimating us, man. They think that we don't deserve them, all this shit, but we're going to surprise them. You know, we're definitely going to surprise them with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
King D?
Yeah, I mean, like they're dope. You know, I can't not say they're not, because I can't do shit in a second language. You know, I can't. You know, and like they're dope, and they got energy. But you know, like they don't. I don't think they're gonna have the chemistry in this English language. Like I don't think, you know, and like they'll have energy like crazy. You know, I don't think they're gonna have we'll have a better back and forth. We'll have a better, you know, like we'll have a better. But,
yeah, I think their chemistry would probably be better in French than in English. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like, you know, like,
that's the thing. Like we're fluent in English, and this is an English battle. You know what I mean? So like we are going to have the upper hand there alone.
They have great, their energy wise, that like their performance value is way better than mine, especially, but like it's bars versus performance, really, man. That's
Yeah,
and
that
they're
is-
better
I
performance.
just hope Scarecrow comes with some better shit than sticking his hand up my ass. You know what I mean?
yeah, he did have some bars about that against Chubalicious. Well, listen, I actually think you're right on the money. I do think that your chemistry in this language will definitely play into it. But I think what makes it interesting is there's a lot of unknown. Like this battle, I have no idea how the fuck it's gonna go down, and that's what makes it exciting to me. It's a crazy card. No Love 3, March 13th. Thank you both for joining us, and can't wait for you guys to put on a show in less than 2 weeks. So shout out to Falls Boys as well, and we'll have a couple beers on the 13th.
Yeah, no
Dope for sure, man.
All
Be
right,
nice to see everybody.
Facts, man. It's been too long.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah,
boys. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Man.
Salute.
Salute.
And then
Wow, another show, Frenchie. 12 episodes. That's 3 months by my count, or close to. We're still doing it. We're going strong. Technical difficulties, all that good stuff, but good guests with good conversation, and I think people enjoy it. So, fuck, man, let's keep it going. Oh, by the way, next week, you want to know who's on the show?
Oh.
No? Well, we got a former King of the Dot champion. We got a former CRB champion. Yeah, you guessed it. We got Paul Rich coming down to do a live prediction vlog next week on CRB Live. We're going to interview him, but he's going to do a live prediction vlog about No Love 3. He's going to do all the battles. I don't know if he knows everybody, but that's never stopped him before from doing predictions. So
no, that's right.
Paul Rich is on the show as the main guest. And then, of course, we got Philly and Deli Neff. The last battle of
Face Off. Nice.
Face Off. We're going to get them on, and that'll be everybody on CRB Live before. So
and
next
Jersey
week.
Boy.
Yeah, buddy. You never know what's going to happen when Poe's on the show. So salute to everyone who tuned in tonight. Salute to you, Frenchie. And Jug is a little under the weather tonight. Like he's all good, but we won't bring him on tonight. But salute to Jugga and everything he does. CapitalRapBattles.ca. Make sure you check that out and
grab some merch.
Just grab some merch.
You know, rest in peace, Bender. All that.
Rest in peace, Bender. And yeah, last week we said at the end of the show, go watch Bender versus Sid Vicious.
Yo, I think this week should just like battle. There's no specific battle of the week, but just Bender battles. Let's go watch a bunch of Bender battles.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually once I heard Scrilla talking about. I'm gonna go watch the Miracle battle with my dinner. I think actually because I haven't seen that one in a while. So anyway, rest in peace to Bender, and yeah, we'll always be repping you, man. So 613 forever.
Cheers.
Shout out to Beast Mode, Sorry Player, and you guys have a great night. Goodbye.
Yeah.